It's Pastor Marty from the Afternoon Drive, and here we are now on day number 5 since the Mueller Report has hit. Now, Friday night when it came out, we had no summary, no details, other than the banner headline, "No New Indictments." And that put the mainstream media into absolute meltdown mode. Chris Matthews screaming at everybody over on his show, Hardballs. And then Rachel Madcow basically cried through her entire fiasco. You know, what I don't even know what her show is called. The Madcow Report. I don't know. You would think now that we've gotten to day number 5 that the media has begun to now absorb the fact that no indictments, no collusion. We know that Mueller took the cop-out, cowardly, got one little last shot in. Well, I wasn't going to make any decision on obstruction. Left that to the Attorney General. The Attorney General and the assistant, Rod Rosenstein, said absolutely no obstruction. If there's no crime, there's no obstruction. Well, you would think that by now the media is ready to do a mea culpa and say, you know what, we really overhyped this. We really overplayed this. We were constantly throwing out headlines every single day that this is it. We're closer to this president being impeached, being indicted, being arrested, his entire family being let out of the White House in jumpsuits and like a chain gang. You would think they're ready to apologize for lying for 2 years to their viewers. Nope. They haven't done anything wrong.
And I think we've done, the media, the press has done one of the great reporting jobs in the history, especially of covering a presidency by the most news organizations. And look, let's look at where the disinformation and mistakes and lying have come from. Hasn't come from the press. It's come from the President of the United States and those around him.
Carl Bernstein, the legend in his own mind, post-Watergate, now says that the media has done a wonderful job through this entire process, and why, in fact, other than a few of the Trump sycophant fans, why the vast majority of the American people are going to give them an A+, that they've done an outstanding job on reporting and covering this fairly. Somebody in the Bernstein family needs to finally acknowledge the Prevacin is no longer working, and Grandpa now has full-blown dementia. Trump was disseminating false information? Trump was the one lying? Well, let's take a look at some of Mr. Bernstein's crack reporting to see if Trump was the one lying.
Those who are closest to him will tell you it's very hard for them to stop his rages, especially in the last couple of weeks, about Mueller, and that they say to me and others that he is determined to shut this investigation down.
I can't seem to find my calendar. Anybody tell me the date that Donald Trump shut down the Mueller investigation? Oh yeah, he didn't. You lied, Mr. Bernstein. You lied. Trump never shut down. In fact, he was asked repeatedly, are you going to shut it down? He said, no, I have no reason to shut it down. I'm not going to shut it down. Now, the fact that Trump was under the pressure of every day, feeling like every orifice of his being was being probed, to occasionally lash out or say repeatedly, witch hunt, which it was a witch hunt. Robert Mueller was an investigation in search of a crime. Mueller knew going in no crime had been committed. He was there as Comey's cleanup man to try to have some cover for the FBI to not be outed the way that they're about to get outed for their coup. So this bit that Trump was lying and he wanted to shut it down, he didn't shut it down. So, family of Bernstein, the next time you have a get-together, Thanksgiving dinner, family reunion, this is that time now that you take Grandpa and you put him in the other room with all the little great grandkids that are playing on the floor, put something up on the big screen TV, that between the kids playing on the floor and on the big TV, he'll have some distraction, and then the rest of you need to start talking about seriously, okay, which home are we putting Grandpa Bernstein in? Because he's out of his mind.
His whole presidency is a credibility crisis because he traffics in misinformation, lying, and disinformation. And that is the hallmark of this presidency. And it's increasingly why Republicans, not just Democrats, are losing confidence in the President of the United States and wonder how long this kind of lying can go on to the American people. There's never been anything like this.
This president lies, 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 lies. No president's ever lied like this. Wait a minute, I thought you brought Richard Nixon down on lies, 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 lies. Oh, and Nixon had a whole group of people working with him. You haven't pointed out where Trump has actually lied. You haven't actually pointed out where his family has lied. The Mueller report vindicated them. This is not looking good for you, Carl. You're one missed trip to the bathroom away from being confined to the home.
That the Russians bought ads to keep front and center in Wisconsin and other states the issue of Black Lives Matter, understanding that if they kept going ahead and pushing this idea, this controversial notion of Black Lives Matter being crucial to the presidential election, it would turn out certain white voters in opposition to Hillary Clinton and in favor of Donald Trump. So that there's this sprawling canvas in front of us, and that is incidentally one reason why Trump is so assertive in his tweets.
Calling it a hoax, you mean? Calling this a hoax?
That the Russians didn't calling the investigation a hoax.
I think he's inoculating his fans against all the stories that you and others are reporting. He's telling his fans, don't believe a word of it.
He's trying to make the conduct of the press the issue. He said that the enemy of the people is the press. Even more so, it would appear, than ISIS. He believes we're the enemy, which, of course, is absurd.
Carl, you just couldn't quite get there in time, huh? Well, since your family doesn't want to follow you around all day with a bedpan, to the home you go. Now, this has been debunked so many times and explained so many times, but I will do it again ad nauseum. So, here's what you're wanting the American people to believe, Carl, CNN, and little Humpty Dumpty Brian Stelter. Some Russian bot agency over in somewhere in Russia spent $14,000 total on Facebook propaganda. And some of that $14,000 was allocated to simply target people in Wisconsin so that only white people would show up to vote for Donald Trump. And you believe that? Because if you believe that, not only are you insane, but you have just absolutely destroyed any shred of any lasting credibility that you're actually a legitimate journalist who knows and understands and has insight to things. Because if you believe that $14,000 in yearbook ads flipped an entire state, you are out your mind. When billions of dollars are spent on presidential elections and Hillary Clinton had amassed the largest war chest of any presidential candidate ever. But yet, why, if you can just raise $14K and get some Russian agency to help you, you can be president. That doesn't even pass the laugh test. Hey, Carl, could it be more like Hillary lost Wisconsin because she didn't go there and campaign? She didn't go and connect with the people and give the working people of Wisconsin a vision for what she was going to do on their behalf and how she, working with them, would make their state and their life better. But see, Donald Trump did go and do that. But I know, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It was Russian bots putting up advertising about Black Lives Matter, and the entire state of Wisconsin went to Donald Trump as a result of it. And he's the one lying? And you at CNN don't think you owe the American people any type of apology for your absolutely one-sided, asinine propaganda hit piece on this president day after day, hour after hour. And then you wonder why you're called fake news and the enemy of the people. Here's why: you are the enemy of the people. You have turned the First Amendment into a weapon that you are nothing more than a propaganda mouthpiece for your political ideology. That's it. You are the press of Joseph Goebbels. Congratulations. You are nothing but a propaganda machine. CNN is at the top, and PMSNBC is fighting to take you down because they want the honor of being the #1 propaganda machine. Neither one of you are actually credible members of, quote, the free press. And Bernstein, you sold out a long time ago, pal. And the afterglow of your Watergate heroics, it's long gone, old-timer. It's long gone. That said, I'm Pastor Marty. If you like rants like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications, and please share these videos. Help get the word out about alternative conservative media. We're not going to get it from the algorithms of YouTube. We need you to share these videos to get the word out. Thank you.